All right, we are live now and we'll get started in a couple minutes. We'll give people a few to settle in.
Cool.
All right, you know what? Maybe we'll just get going right now as we are recording. So, hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar, Purpose-Built Dashboards for Actionable Insights, hosted by BigPanda. First, a couple of housekeeping items before we begin. All of you are in listen-only mode right now. If you do have a question, please submit it via the Ask a Question tab. We'll do our best to answer as many questions as possible during the presentation. If we don't get to the question in time, somebody will reach out to you post-event with your answer. We have additional assets under the Attachments tab. Please feel free to download those for additional information about today's discussion. If your screen does appear blurry, you have the ability to increase the resolution using the gear icon in the bottom right corner. We recommend using 1080p. And lastly, the webinar will be available on demand later on today. It will be accessible through the same URL you used today to watch, so you can feel free to watch it again later on or share it with your colleagues. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce today's presenter, Richie Gallagher. Richie, take it away.
Hello, team. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. My name is Richie. I am a technical account manager or value adoption engineer here at BigPanda. My job is to ensure that my clients have the knowledge to do the needful within the tool. And today we are here to talk about BigPanda dashboards. We're going to go over some high-level baseline understanding of how unified analytics works, what our most common dashboards are, and some processes and problem management exercises in order to improve on your data. So at our core here at BigPanda, we are an agnostic event management tool. And what that means is we're taking all of your source data from your observability platforms. We're ingesting that into BigPanda, deduplicating these events. We are left with alerts. And that is where the normalization and enrichment starts to kick in and gives us more insight into the correlated incidents at hand. We use unified analytics to sort of blow this data up so that we can dig into some of our problem areas and improve on enrichment. At the end of the day, enrichment unlocks all the doors within value in BigPanda. And as we go through some of these exercises, we'll see just how that work is conducted so that enrichment can improve. And if enrichment's improving, your correlation rate would also be improving as well, leading to more actionable incidents that are placed in your engineer's hands. So I'm going to start here by sharing my screen. Now this here is, it's not actually our BigPanda console. I'm working directly out of a unified analytics cube, so I'm not tied into BigPanda itself. But what I want to start off first is, how is this data structured within unified analytics, and what does that mean? So first, what I'm going to do here is add a new dashboard, and I'm just going to click on create. I'm going to select a widget, and right here, this is what I want to start with to lay that foundational knowledge of what this data means. There's all of these tags here, but some of the common questions that we get from our clients is, which one do I use? Why? Why are they grouped like this? So what we have here are basically database tables within our Snowflake instance. And what we call them are alerts dim. Dim is short for dimension table. That would be within Snowflake. And within this dimension table here, these are all of the tags that contain all of your alert-based metrics. And then further down, we have changes dim. This would be all of your change information coming from multiple change sources. Environments dim. These would be the environments within the BigPanda Incident 360 console. Event count. This one is pretty important. This is events that are being sent into BigPanda before deduplication actually kicks in. We can talk a little bit about that later there. And then we have incident activities dim. These are the different activities that are happening within a BigPanda correlated incident. So we have things like the incident ID, which is one of the most commonly used tags within BigPanda Unified Analytics. And then we have incident processing facts and incident start time. These are more when did the incident start? Pretty self-explanatory there. So at the core of Unified Analytics, we have several important tables here. We have alerts dim, events dim, and incidents dim. And this is what powers the out-of-the-box BigPanda dashboards. So one of the most common questions that I get from our clients today is, what are the most commonly used client dashboards that are out there today? BigPanda R&D actually does a very good job of monitoring this activity. And what we do with our out-of-the-box dashboards is we're looking at all of that activity and placing them, the most commonly used dashboards and widgets, into the BigPanda out-of-the-box dashboards that all of our clients have today, which can be accessed by clicking on the BigPanda dashboards folder here. My instance of UA is a little bit different than what you would see within Unified Analytics, but the behavior here is all the same. So now I want to start talking about, what do we do with this data? Coming from an MSP, problem management, operations, and observability background, my number one pain point before BigPanda was writing all of these scripts and polling all of my different observability sources and placing that into Unified Analytics to perform problem management. And after becoming a client of BigPanda, one day, we went live, and problem management suddenly became incredibly easy because I no longer had to perform like all the maintenance on all those individual scripts. Everything was here in one place, easily digestible because we are normalizing and enriching this data. And one of the most powerful dashboards that I found useful is the alert analysis dashboard, which we'll take a look at in a second here. So I want to get into some very quick do's and don'ts with Unified Analytics. Number one, duplicate as much as possible. If you find that there is a dashboard within Unified Analytics that might have the format that you're trying to implement in the dashboard you're trying to create from scratch, go ahead and steal it. That work has already been done for you. You don't have to, start from scratch and boil the ocean. If you're looking for a table, for example, you can come into here and, well, this won't work yet, but the 3-dot hamburgers is where you can duplicate your widgets. But first, what we'll need to do is go up to our menu, our dashboard menu, click on the 3-dot hamburger, click this duplicate button, and now we have duplicated the entire dashboard here. A lot of the feedback that we get with Unified Analytics is, I don't know where to start. How do I use this? This is why we're having the webinar today. Number one rule, always look and see if something has already been done. 9 times out of 10, something is probably already close to what you're looking for. And all you need to do is hit that duplicate button, and then we can do some massaging with the widgets here, or easily duplicate this widget. So now I have a second widget here that I can pop into by clicking the pencil. I can hide columns, or if I want to, I can remove this column entirely, and then instead of having source system, maybe I want to plot this by location. And my demo cube does not have a location tab, but the point that I'm trying to make here is the work typically is already done. But when you're trying to troubleshoot, abnormal behavior, or you're trying to plot information into a table, my best recommendation here is to keep it as high level as possible at first. And this is where we start to put on our, problem management detective hat and start doing some of these problem management exercises to get more value and action out of these dashboards. I'm going to pop into the alert analysis dashboard. This dashboard here is something, is a dashboard that's available in every BigPanda console. It's also our most used dashboard, especially with operations and observability and problem management teams. And what we can do here is easily plot what our top alerting hosts are, what the top alerting checks are, roughly at what time has this behavior been occurring. And what I'm looking at here is the last 2 quarters worth of data. And I already have some filters in here. I'm going to delete these or hide these for a second. Now, the mindset, the investigative mindset with these dashboards is to not, boil the ocean and export this into a PDF and ship it off into a team and say, hey, fix this, right? There's way too much information in here. And it's going to turn into a never-ending project. So what has worked well for myself and for many of our clients is adding a little bit of processes to working these dashboards. And what I mean by that is, if you want to become more predictive, if you want to prevent that outage from happening on a Saturday morning at 2 a.m., what you would want to do here is come into the alert analysis dashboard, take a look at your top 3 alerting hosts, and then in your ITSM system, spin up a service ticket and export just a little bit of this information, the top 3, and then assign that to the stakeholders of those, top alerting hosts. What we can do with enrichment is add a filter here. So what I want everyone to think of is the broader scope of the data that we're looking at, and start breaking it into buckets. So these buckets are going to mean different things to different organizations. We have clients that have like global on-prem locations, all over the world, and that's where a filter like location would come in. So right here, I'm filtering on the FL63 location, and what I would do here is say, hey, FL63 team, here are your top 5 top alerting hosts. Here are the top alerting checks. Based on the total alerts per hour and the alert changes that are coming in, we can see that roughly, 50,000 are coming in every hour. But at hour 1600, 4 p.m., or at midnight on a Wednesday, you are most likely going to experience an outage at this site. If you don't want to be paged in the middle of the night, it would be prudent to do your event management homework here during your business hours on Monday through Friday. And by doing that and creating a service ticket every week, following up with these tickets every week, take the top 3 today, next week, take the next top 3, and keep moving. Problem management is a very slow moving train when you first get started. You're not going to have exciting results, within the first 7 days. But if you have continuity, and if you keep up with these service tickets, following up with your engineers, working with them and finding root cause, you're effectively going to be preventing this outage that may happen on Wednesday at midnight. And from here, what we can do is drill in deeper into the widgets with some more filters. I can turn on my check filter, so I can see at the Florida location, CPU utilization is causing roughly 126,000 incidents every 2 quarters. Here are your top talkers. Let's dig into that and work with your SRE teams, your engineering teams, and solve for that root cause so that this doesn't happen again. And as you're doing this exercise week over week, month over month, your top alerting hosts, your top alerting checks, these things start to change because they're getting aged out as you're solving for these problems. And effectively, you're going to move down to your lower top alerting hosts, the ones that are not at the top of the list today because you're solving for these now. And by implementing these types of problem management thought processes and operations, this is how teams start to shift left. So if you're knocking out your top alerting hosts, your top alerting checks, you start to work on something more interesting, because instead of solving all of your noise, you're going to have more valuable, more quality work to work on. So from here, I'm going to go to alert quality. And the alert quality dashboard, this dashboard is one of our more powerful dashboards in terms of how well is enrichment performing. And enrichment, again, really makes the world go round within BigPanda. The more enrichment you have, the higher your correlation rate's going to be. So by applying, some of these operational and problem management practices to a dashboard like the alert quality dashboard, you're going to start providing more valuable, actionable incidents for your engineers to resolve. And the goal with more enrichment here, higher correlation, more information in your engineers' hands so that they can solve these as quickly as possible. Regarding enrichment, we have our alert quality by source system widget. And I like to focus in on this one a lot because, it's showing us which of our source systems are performing the best and which ones aren't. So we have like Nagios and Splunk coming in with 0% host, 0% CI, 0% check. So what this tells me is that 100% of the time with Nagios and Splunk, we don't know what broke or why. These are critical pieces of information that your teams need to solve these problems, right? So by applying these problem management and operational exercises, we can start digging into this information by filtering in on the source system. Let's take a look at Splunk. And now in our alert quality attributes table here, we have a table of nearly all the information that we need to at least start that investigation. What we can do with this is take the 3-dot hamburger and we can download this into a CSV file or a PDF. And then from there, what I would recommend or prescribe here is that you spin up an internal ticket and assign this to whoever is, the Splunk owner or the application owner that's causing this lack of data. And then you can look at the individual incidents and start zeroing in on why that this behavior is the way it is. And once you know that, you can start adding like host, check, config item. And as we improve on this, your percentages here are going to go higher, which means that enrichment is improving. You start understanding why or what broke and why. Two most important things when generating an incident ticket. We have about 6 minutes left. I'd like to open it up for questions so far.
Sure. Tell you what, Richie, we did get one question come in. Is there an API I can use to pull this data into my own internal tools?
So we don't have an API for Unified Analytics, but we do offer Open Analytics Hub. And Open Analytics Hub, it basically gets you access into your own Snowflake database where you can pull this information out from the source, and then you can place that internally wherever your end users digest that information. All you need to do to get access to that is to hit up your account team, and the process is very straightforward.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Right. Does not look like any other questions are coming through. So I guess we can wrap it up. So unless you have any closing comments there, Rich, or any tips or pointers for anybody to make sure a key takeaway for today?
Key takeaway here is to be consistent with your investigation into these dashboards. If you have continuity, you are that slow moving problem management train is going to start picking up speed. And another piece here is to celebrate those wins, share this information with your stakeholders and show them what the difference is month over month. When you do that, and when you're working with these stakeholders and you're preventing them from getting paged in the middle of the night, they will not forget you, I promise. And that leads to employee retention, because you're not getting paged at 3:30 in the morning on a Saturday, and your partner's not getting woken up, and the newborn baby is not hearing the PagerDuty alarm. So number one rule of thumb is be consistent. Don't skip leg day. Don't skip problem management. Don't skip out on investigating your dashboards.
Awesome. That's some great insights. Thanks so much for everything, Richie. I appreciate you powering through, and I hope you start feeling better soon. Appreciate everybody joining. Again, this is being recorded. The recording will be available later on today. And I just want to say thank you again for joining us for today's webinar, Building Purpose-Built Dashboards for Actionable Insights. Thanks again, Richie, and everybody have a great day.
Thank you.